Hello, this is Walter, the English Conversation Doctor, coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. And in this part of the 3 month series, we're going to be looking at demystifying the English language. What I mean by that is that a lot of times when people approach me on the street here in Tokyo, and I tell them, well, I'm a English teacher or I am a business consultant, a lot of times they say, "Oh, English," and it sounds very difficult for them. A lot of that is because a lot of students think that the English language is something that is very, very complex and complicated to understand. And it's really not their fault that they feel that way. They feel that way because of the way that the language was taught to them, and also because of their past experiences with the language. Like I mentioned before, most students in Japan have been studying English for about 10 to 20 or 30 years. And even though their academic skills are like kind of mediocre and they can kind of get around using them or communicate in email a little bit, most of them simply don't have the necessary verbal communication skills to carry on a conversation in English. And in this part of the course, we're going to be looking at why that is. Basically, as a rapid development English conversational skills specialist, my job is to make English easy to understand for people who will actually have to go abroad and use the language. Most of my students don't have a lot of time to study. I'm talking like 1 to 3 months before they are being shipped out, and that's it. So I don't really have time to take them through a long, drawn-out process and teach them about like stuff like adjectives and verbs and how to conjugate and all of this stuff. My primary goal for them is you will speak English by the time you leave my class. That's it. So because of that, I don't really have a large time frame to work with them. So what I need to do is I need to find ways to break English down to them in a way that it makes sense and something that they can easily understand and apply before they travel abroad. So that's what we're going to focus on in this part of the course. And this course is basically going to be broken down to kind of single out the main problems that students are having when using the English language. Stuff like how to solve problems with listening skills, how to increase your vocabulary, how to overcome fear, and how to keep yourself motivated for studying. This is the kind of stuff that we'll be going over in this section of the course. So like I'll try to make this as easy and simple for you to understand as possible so that it'll be easier for you to go out and apply immediately after the class. See, what you have to remember is that learning English is a process. And as I mentioned before, what this course focuses on is teaching you that process. So in this part of the course, we're going to be like breaking down that process into its kind of simplest format, which would be like data input, data processing, and data output, or rather listening, comprehension, and then speaking or like other forms of communication. And once you've figured out the process and once I've shown you how it works, then the way that you study English and knowing why you use certain things in the English language or why you might say or do certain things in the English language will start to make a lot more sense to you. And that's kind of what we're going for here in this section. Once you figure out that the English language really isn't that difficult to use, then it'll make it a lot easier for you to deal with and learn. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at the first section of this, which will cover listening skills.